Hey everybody, it's Edwardo, back with your DraftStream final results and talent pool preview. Well. Break out the brooms. Jaybird has pulled off the clean sweep. All $60 available in the prize pool, $50 split between first and second, and the $10 lowball bonus. Let's see how he did it. First off, it was Love on the Spectrum. It was Most Wanted. It was the Doghouse, the Rental, and a 3-pack of Signs. A very distributed strategy this week, as he employed no less than 5 titles en route to victory. A bit of an unusual week, but he sniffed it out. As I somewhat called earlier, I think on Thursday's podcast, that it didn't seem like there would be a lot of, it seemed like there'd be a mushy middle, or that there'd be a lot of titles with scores near each other. And that's kind of what he counted on. Yeah, he had to have the one you had to have, which is Love on the Spectrum. And after that, he just spread the love around, which was good enough for a win. And how does that stack up to the perfect call sheet? Not bad. He was about 50 points off. A little more Love on the Spectrum, and punting for Amulet, which actually did all right, considering, actually did pretty well considering its price. That's 111 points on 5.7k is great value. So the perfect call sheet was a little more refined in its strategy. I think it only used 4, but still, this was good enough to give Jaybird the win. And his second place call sheet was basically the same, just arranged differently. He honed in on the 5 titles he wanted and just gave a little bit different exposure to it. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. No, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he had 6. My bad. He had 6. And it's funny because he had all the elements generally to a perfect call sheet, just arranged differently and spread out across 2 different call sheets. Now, as we saw with the perfect call sheet, it had 5, but this had 6, but it has the 5 you need in here as well, which I find very interesting. He has exposure to Amulet, Love on the Spectrum, Most Wanted, Signs, the Doghouse, and the Rental. So very, very cool weeks, Jaybird. I like the way you approach this. You're able to sniff out what kind of week was going to be, and that was one with clear leadership, but not a lot of leadership. It was pretty much just Love on the Spectrum, a little bit of Fear City, but Fear City, I think, priced itself out of being on these call sheets. What was Fear City? 16,000. But when you look at what Love on the Spectrum was doing for about $3,000 less. Yeah, there it goes. For about $2,000 less, you can see why Love on the Spectrum was the Jaybird's choice. And just missing out, Gamble 24x7, about 8 points behind. And Tig and Seek did not come through. We had our fingers crossed for a Tig and Seek revival. Somehow it never made its way to Google users. If Google users had even a 60, G24 would have taken the top spot. It was not meant to be. I mean, in my call sheet, pretty miserable. I think I might even mention on Thursday I had very little idea what I was doing this week, and it showed. Love in Harmony Valley was static. Love on the Spectrum, I was onto something, but honestly, I probably could have jettisoned both of Love in Harmony Valley and did more, at least one more Love on the Spectrum. Had the right idea with Amulet, getting that value. But I blew it on Tig and Seek also. I needed Tig and Seek to help a brother out. Did not happen. Could have swapped these in for 2 Love on the Spectrums. That might have been all right. And then the low ball. Jaybird maintained his lead. The Tig and Seek bomb did not detonate. Because had Tig and Seek gotten any kind of decent Google user score, G24 probably would have won both the top spot and the low ball. Instead, held together for Jaybird, Helter Skelter at the kissing booth, Tig and Seek, 75 grand on the dot. Well played, sir. And then let's see how our mascot settled out. Brown Baby, aka the Draft Mom. And she got 8th. In this case, the rental did her in. Not nearly enough bang for her buck. I mean, it wasn't bad, but you needed to excel this week, and it didn't perform for her. Love in Harmony Valley was static all weekend. And Fear City, the Mafia, was an expensive adventure, considering the fact that you could have gotten more points for cheaper out of Love on the Spectrum. Okay, you know what? That does it for this week. I'm bored with it already. Let's move on to a far more interesting and exciting talent pool, and here it is. Look at the talent we've got arrayed this week. We got some Beyonce. We got Kiefer Sutherland and Boyd Holbrook in The Fugitive, and we are breaking out something I'm very excited about this week. We are going to explicitly experiment with seasons. And by that I mean Season 2 of The Umbrella Academy and Season 5 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Don't sleep on our hop. Do not sleep on these ladies. They are crazy. I love it. I will be watching. And basically we're going to do it like this. So I updated the rules somewhat. This is still a living document as we are rapidly approaching coding all this up for the website, the web app. What I added was basically whenever possible for returning series, the average score of the new episodes will be used. Otherwise, the existing scores will be used. And to show you what I mean, let's actually go back over here to RHOP. All right, so it's been on for, this will be the 5th year. It's been on since 2016. We get it. The overall is 4.4. But what we're going to do is you go into the episode guide, and for as many episodes as they have listed, and they should only have, yeah, this 5.1 right here. This qualifies for, this doesn't, I don't think this should count. This will actually qualify for Season 5, Episode 1. Whatever people rate this episode will carry. And to give you an example of something that's more established, let's do Absentia. Which I really wanted to have on, was it last week's? But didn't pull the trigger because I didn't figure out this system quite yet myself. And here you can do the episode guide. So whereas there's only one episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Absentia for Season 3 drops all at once. So what I would do in this case is I would take the average of all 10 of these episodes, and that would be the IMDb user score. And it kind of holds to, I think you can do, what was it, Metacritic also. I think you can go by seasons. Let's do this in real time. 59. Oh, hate me. See seasons and episodes. Yeah, so Season 3. Oh, to be determined. Season 3 overview. There we go. Season 3 doesn't have its score yet. Alright, so in this case, so it looks like they didn't find anyone willing to review Season 3. So in this case, where there is no explicit season score or average for us to pull from. And as we say here, with incomplete critical scores, the scores available will be used. And so for RT, so basically, if we can't get a season score from Absentia, we'll default to the overall Absentia score, which would be 59. Does that make sense? So basically, we're gonna go in, deep dive and find a season score. If not, we will default to the overall series score. And that's basically what this says here, that for Rotten Tomatoes, the percentage. So, and also for incomplete scores, somewhat like we had with, what was it, Tig and Seek? Lorento, I think it was, yeah, the Doghouse. The Doghouse on Metacritic, see, it was TBD, but if you dig deeper, it said it had one critic review. Not great, but it's better than nothing. So we took that 80 and applied it to our scores. And in another case, I think we had, I'm not sure it's here. Was it Helter Skelter? I think it was Helter Skelter. Oh no, it had a full one. Never mind. Anyways, if it has, sometimes you'll have like 2 or 3 scores, but not enough to give like an aggregate Metacritic score. So with that, we will average them out, and that'll be the score. That's for Metacritic. For Rotten Tomatoes, and I detail this here, with incomplete scores, the scores available will be used. For Rotten Tomatoes, the percentage of positive to negative reviews will result in a percentage-based score. So if there's, say, 3 scores but not 4, and 2 of them are positive, 1 are negative, then we'll say 67%. For Metacritic, the average of existing scores will result in an average-based score, and that's how I detailed just a moment ago. All right, so it's gonna be a little more. I mean, it's not overly complicated. Maybe I'm complicating it by over talking it, but I am excited though because I want to try this out. It's a way to keep the blood alive in this game. When we do transition to the site and we have more automated processes, I mean, we're probably going to have, 25, 30 shows a week debuting, and having access to additional seasons of shows will make it that much more complex and challenging to win. And also, it'll aid you in more title discovery. I mean, that's what this game is all about. Seeing what's new out there, discovering what's new out there, reminding you of shows you liked or loved that are coming back. So hopefully, so if this works this week, I'm gonna incorporate it into our talent pool strategy moving forward. And the talent pool, top of the food chain is Black is King. Beyonce can do no wrong. Generally, everyone loves her. You know this is gonna be like a 9.8. No matter how this turns out, but for most part, her visual albums, of which Lemonade and I think just like the Beyonce one, the one that dropped around Christmas a few years ago, they've been, visually stunning and achievements of both music and filmmaking. So I expect it's going to do extremely well. Critically, it'll probably do pretty well. Look, that's a movie right there. They call it a special, but that's essentially a movie right there. So she's the top dog this week at 19.5, Jay-Z at 19.2, your day player at 17.8 with Pharrell. Coming in second, I do believe we went with, Locked Up, El Oasis. Because based off of the info that's out there, this is going to do pretty well. Already a 7.3. I think this aired overseas somewhere. Was it, I want to say Brazil, Spain? I think it's Spain. So you already have a little intel on it. 7.3 is a really strong indicator of how else it's going to do in the game. So we start at 16,200. Maggie Sivantos and Nawa Nimri for your headliners. Paulo Gallego, 14,700 as your cheaper day player. And I think third is probably Get Even. Don't know much about this, but once again, advanced intel seems to be pretty solid. I think they're bringing this to, is that Netflix? Netflix, yes. It's going to Netflix. Seems to have been a popular BBC show. 4 teenage girls at an elite private school who form their own secret society to expose bullies. Not really my thing, but it's off to a good start for its demographic. Who else? Muppets. Ugh, I hate Muppets. I didn't even like Muppets when I was a kid. I thought they were kind of dumb. But there is a lot of affection out there for Muppets, so don't let my personal childhood distaste dissuade you. Do what you feel. Summerland. We love Gugu and Mbatha Raw. Good to see her starring in something new. Video on demand. This might be some hidden value. We don't have much intel on it. Oh, no, we have a little bit of intel on it. 6.6 and a small sample size. It's a start. So I don't know if this will unlock a ton of value for you, but I don't know. I just have a feeling this might do okay. Video on demand. Actually, what do we know about video on demand? Video on demand. Let's sort by platform. And as you all know by now, I'm very fond of my data. Let's do a quick average. Average of video on demand. Shows. Titles. Oh, that's a good sample size. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. 79.94. Alright, so kind of... Actually, video on demand didn't do as well as I thought it did. Now, video on demand, covers a lot of different genres. It might be more valuable to break down by genre. I don't know. But I don't know. I just have a feeling about this one. I'm gonna have to see what the reviews are looking like as we get closer. The Fugitive, aka Quibi's Last Stand. All right. Hand in the air on my grandmother's grave. May she rest in peace. If Quibi doesn't show us something on this outing, I might ban this service from the game permanently, at least in the alpha test version. Maybe we'll throw out a few Quibbies when we're up on in coded up beta, but my god, Quibi, if you can't score reviews with The Fugitive, you ain't never gonna do it. Now, granted, this is a Monday release, which means it's probably gonna be available late Sunday night. We should at least get some reviews in, I would hope, if Quibi wants anyone to discover their failing platform and their shows. It's got Kiefer Sutherland, Boyd Holbrook from Narcos fame, Glenn Howerton, AP Bio, Tia Sircar. Sorry, point of personal privilege. I love this woman. Just gorgeous, good in everything she does. Last Scene in the Good Place. So that's a strong top 4 for a TV show, albeit in 10-minute quick bites or whatever the hell Quibi is. Quibi, if y'all can't make it happen with The Fugitive, y'all ain't gonna make it happen. I mean, by the time we actually get CinemaDraft up as a web app, y'all might not even be around as a service, so get it together. This is the last time I'm fucking with y'all if you do not make some scores happen. I'm serious about this. I'm tired of you, Quibi. This is the bargain basement of the week. This is one where come Wednesday night, Thursday morning, they just better show me something. I'm not going in blind with this. Otherwise, this is totally a candidate for the low ball. Like, get as much of this for your low ball as you can, because it's probably going to just default score out if it does anything. All right? And so, and real quick, wow, I totally forgot the Umbrella Academy. Sorry, the Umbrella Academy, 18,000, Ellen Page, Tom Hopper. Myself, I kind of struggled through the pilot. It was okay. It's kind of at the top of my list of Netflix shows to kind of revisit when I have time, whenever that is. I haven't had spare time since sophomore year in high school, but I might end up checking it out again someday. Okay premise. I don't know. Anyways, people love The Umbrella Academy. As you can see from its overall score, 105. I mean, that's the ultimate sample size right there. You don't even get political polls this much sample size. So you have a pretty good idea what it's going to do, which is why it's rated. That's why it's penciled out as high as 18,000 for Ellen Page. This has very little value, but you might just have to go on sheer points. I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed 100 starting out the box, so you might just need to suck it up and grab these points right here, get you your 140 each, and keep it moving. 16,500 for a cheap day player, for the cheapest day player, Stephen Bogart. The weight of gold might be a value center. I'm very leery with sports documentaries, very hit and miss. Obviously, the best one was Athlete A. There was. That one did phenomenal. Obviously, The Last Dance, which is still the record holder for points scored in the DraftStream game. But I don't know. The weight of gold, a lot of big Olympic hitters, heavy hitters here. Lolo, Apollo, Michael Phelps. Might be worth a flyer. We'll have to see what information comes down the stretch towards game lock. And then Tijuana Jackson's probably gonna be terrible. But Regina Hall, Romney Malco, love those guys. And Transformers. Now this one, I might have priced it down because we only have one other title previously with anime, and it didn't really do much. So this could... I mean, everyone loves Transformers. I love Transformers. I went to see the Transformer movie in 1986. It's like, what, a 9-year-old or whatever. It was great. I loved it. I think I saw it for my birthday that October. So yeah, I loved it. Everyone loves Transformers. They kind of seem, even despite Michael Bay's best attempts to destroy their legacy, they seem to just kind of persist. So this could be some hidden value as well. Just keep your eyes open for those advanced reviews and see if that might affect the audience scores. Alright, so that's pretty much going to do it this week. I'll be back on Thursday as usual, sometime after 6 p.m. Pacific time, with the call sheet review and the weekend preview. Make sure, good people, please submit your call sheets. You can submit up to 3. Take note of the new additional clarifications to the rules. Make it work to your favor. $50 prize pool, $35 the first, $15 the second, plus a $10 lowball bonus. You must have 3 actors from 3 different titles minimum, $75,000 spent on your salary, and adhere to all the normal call sheet rules. Thanks for playing, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back here on Thursday.